Hey travelers, Boardman21 here. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update now that we're going to start streaming again every day. I wanted to give you a little progress report on that. I've decided to put my foot back into the last Epoch. Haven't played in a really long time, but today we started off by creating a Sentinel, went Void Knight. We are playing in hardcore solo mode. We're going to be experiencing that game mode a lot more as I start to refamiliarize myself with the game and just, bring back all that knowledge I had, start remembering it. And then obviously try and get better at the game than we were before, and prepare ourselves for this next patch in which we get back into doing leveling guides and build guides. Now, I didn't want to do a full leveling guide. New patch is coming out in a few weeks. The Sentinels getting a rework would be pretty pointless. However, I know some people were already asking like just how we leveled up. It went entirely really smooth, so I just wanted to give a quick update. We made it to level 50 today on what my character has and just what we're looking at. So again, we're in hardcore. This is a solo. We are Void Knight, and we still haven't really got our resistance. We're on the first timeline that we've made it to. We went all the way to chapter 7, completed it, got our idle slots, and now we're just working on getting our defenses in order. But the main thing is just kind of the skills we used. And for skills, we basically started off with Warpath. We used Warpath until we got to about level 15. And then once we chose the Mastery as well as unlocked Void Cleave, we've been going between Void Cleave and Erasing Strike. Just a really good combo. And then once we unlocked Devouring Orb, we put those in as well. Mana's not really a problem. And the way we have it set up, Void Cleave is obviously here to do a ton of damage, but also to make our next Erasing Strike have a guaranteed crit. And then for Erasing Strike, we have it set up just to do a bunch of damage area, and then eventually more damage versus slow, which Void Cleave applies slow, so that'll be really nice. But for us to get to that, you have to have the extra Echo, which costs 60 extra mana. We don't quite have the mana sustain for that quite yet, so I'm saving the points. That's why we haven't put them in. For Devouring Orb, we just get a lot of, it's a lot of extra damage when you're running through trash mobs. Let it clear it up for you. Also gives us some extra mana regen and global more melee or void damage, which is really nice. Anomaly, obviously for defense, we got the time bubble. It's going to give us a bunch of leech, some cooldown recovery as Void Cleave and Erasing Strike and Devouring Orb all have cooldowns. And then Shield Rush for our movement, which we're going to be building into not requiring a shield as we are wearing a two-hand. For Void Cleave, you do have to have that two-hand axe or sword equipped, and so we can't do staff, so the Devouring Orb, since we don't have spell damage, or not a lot of it, and we're kind of based on that Vitality, which we haven't stacked too much yet, hasn't allowed us to really get too much spell damage yet, but we will build in that as I kind of aim back towards the Auto Bomber. And then for passives, we put 20 points in the base class, we got it in Juggernaut, we got it in Fearless, we worked our way into Armor Clad. After all of that, all of our points went into the Void Knight Mastery, in which we got our Void Resist, Physical Resist. We are in hardcore, so we're going a little bit more defensive and not too worried about full offense, but we also have all that added damage. We got World Eater for some leech, Void Blades for all that melee void damage. Again, once we go completely spell damage later on, if we decide to do that, we'll probably get rid of this one or respec it to something else. Summon Void Bolts. We got Summon Woe because we are a lot of melee with that Rive and Erasing Strike, which is really nice. We're still one-shotting a lot of mobs. Renouncement, Echoing Strikes for that extra free Echo. And then we're getting into Eternal Form right now for that extra health. And all that extra health per point of Vitality, which will really help as we will be stacking a lot of Vitality on this build. And then just to do a little bit of a demonstration of how we're playing the build, I got Devouring Orb that's on autocast, same with Anomaly. And then we'll switch to Shield Rush once we make it not require a shield, but basically just go around, you do a Void Cleave and then an Erasing Strike. I don't want to play too much because I told people I'd only play it on stream, but I just wanted to give this quick update. So I'll do one kind of quick clear here where you can see where the Devouring Orbs are kind of clearing the trash mobs, and then we can just do the Void Cleave. So you can just run around, let the Devouring Orbs do their thing, and then when you really want to get a kill, you do your Reave, and then an Erasing Strike, and just like that, you just can go right through the map pretty quick with it. As you can see, just wait for it to get off cooldown. Erasing Strike's pretty good at just about killing everything, granted that it hits them. And it's pretty quick, it's pretty fast. It's one of the smoothest Void Knights that I've leveled, and instead of like going straight completely into Auto Bomber. So it is nice in that aspect. It's just a ton of damage. It's much faster at boss clearing than the Auto Bomber is, which is nice. So I'm definitely going to stick with it for a while as we continue to build a little spell damage and melee for it. But overall, I've been enjoying it a ton, and I'm going to continue playing it on stream, so feel free to join me tomorrow. I'll give you guys another update once we're done streaming tomorrow with as far as we get.